if entranced, the wicked look upon the coronation of the Son of God. They see in his hands the tables of the divine law, the statutes which they have despised and transgressed. They witness the outburst of the wonder, rapture, and adoration from the saved. And as the wave of melody sweeps over the multitude without the city, all with one voice exclaim, "Marvelous are thy works, Lord God Almighty. Just and true are thy ways, thou King of saints." And falling prostrate, they worship the Prince of Life. Satan seems paralyzed as he beholds the glory and majesty of Yeshua. He who was once a covering cherub remembers from whence he has fallen. A shining seraph, son of the morning, how changed, how degraded. Satan sees that his voluntary rebellion has unfitted him for heaven. He has trained his powers to war against God. The purity, peace, and harmony of heaven would be to him supreme torture. His accusations against the mercy and justice of Yahweh are now silenced. The reproach which he has endeavored to cast upon Yahweh rests wholly upon himself. And now Satan bows down and confesses the justice of his sentence. Every question of truth and error in the long-standing controversy is made plain. Yahweh's justice stands fully vindicated. Before the whole world is clearly presented the great sacrifice made by the Father and the Son in man's behalf. The hour has come when Yeshua occupies his rightful position and is glorified above principalities and powers and every name that is named. Notwithstanding, Satan has been constrained to acknowledge God's justice and to bow to the supremacy of Yeshua. His character remains unchanged. The spirit of rebellion, like a mighty torrent, again bursts forth. Filled with frenzy, he determines not to yield the great controversy. The time has come for a last desperate struggle against the King of Heaven. He rushes into the midst of his subjects and endeavors to inspire them with his own fury, to arouse them to instant battle. But of all the countless millions whom he has allured into rebellion, there are none now to acknowledge his supremacy. His power is at an end. The wicked are filled with the same hatred of God that inspires Satan, but they see that their case is hopeless, that they cannot prevail against Yahweh. Their rage is kindled against Satan and those who have been his agents in deception. With the fury of demons, they run upon them, and there follows a scene of universal strife. Then are fulfilled the words of the prophet, "The indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He has utterly destroyed them. He has delivered them to the slaughter. Upon the wicked he shall rain quick burning coals, fire and brimstone, and a horrible tempest that shall be the portion of their cup. Fire comes down from God out of heaven. The earth is broken up. The weapons concealed in its depth are drawn forth. Devouring flames burst from every yawning chasm. The very rocks are on fire. The day has come that shall burn as an oven. The elements melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein are burned up. The fire of Tophet is prepared for the king, the chief of rebellion. The pile thereof is deep and large, and the breath of the Lord, like a stream of brimstone, doth kindle it. The earth's surface seems one molten mass, a vast seething lake of fire. It is the time of the judgment and perdition of ungodly men, the day of the Lord's vengeance and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion. The wicked receive their reward in the earth. They shall be stubble, and the day that comes shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts. Some are destroyed as in a moment, while others suffer many days. All are punished according to their deeds. The sins of the righteous have been transferred to Satan, the originator of evil, who must bear their penalty. Thus he is made to suffer not only for his own rebellion, but for all the sins which he has caused God's people to commit. His punishment is to be far greater than that of those whom he has deceived. After all have perished who fell by his deceptions, he is still to live and suffer on. In the cleansing flames the wicked are at last destroyed, root and branch, Satan the root, his followers the branches. The justice of God is satisfied, and the saints and all the angelic hosts say with a loud voice, so be it. While the earth is wrapped in the fire of God's vengeance, the righteous abide safely in the holy city. Upon those that had part in the first resurrection, the second death has no power. While Yahweh is to the wicked a consuming fire, he is to his people both a sun and a shield. And I looked and I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away. The fire that consumes the wicked purifies the earth. Every trace of the curse is swept away. No eternally burning hell will keep before the ransom the fearful consequences of sin. One reminder alone will remain. Our Redeemer will ever bear the marks of his crucifixion. Upon his wounded head, his hands and feet are the only traces of the cruel work that sin has wrought. O tower of the flock, the stronghold of the daughter of Zion, unto thee shall it come, even the first dominion. The kingdom forfeited by sin, Yeshua has regained, and the redeemed are to possess it with him. The righteous shall inherit the land and dwell therein forever. A religious fear of making the saints' inheritance seem too material has led many to spiritualize away the very truth, which lead us to look upon the new earth as our home. Yeshua assured his disciples that he went to prepare mansions for them. Those who accept the teachings of Yahweh's word will not be wholly ignorant concerning the heavenly abode. And yet the Apostle Paul declares, eye is not seen, nor ear heard, neither has it entered into the heart of man, the things that Yahweh has prepared for them that love him. Human language is inadequate to describe the reward of the righteous. It will be known only to those who behold it. No finite mind can even comprehend the glory of the paradise of the Most High. In the Scriptures, the inheritance of the saved is called a country. There, the great shepherd leads to fountains of living waters. The tree of life yields its fruit every month, and the leaves of the tree are for the service of the nations. There are ever-flowing streams, clear as crystal, and beside them waving trees cast their shadows upon the paths prepared for the ransomed of the Lord. There the wide-spreading plains swell into hills of beauty, and the mountains of God rear their lofty summits. On those peaceful plains, beside those living streams, Yahweh's people, so long pilgrims and wanderers, shall find home. There is a new Jerusalem, having the glory of God, her light like unto a stone most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal. Saith the Lord, I will rejoice in Jerusalem, and joy in my people. The tabernacle of God is now with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people,